Welcome to IAS project. In this video, we will be doing a comparison of ancient civilizations. That is nothing but Indus Civilization, ancient Egyptian civilization, and ancient Mesopotamian civilization. The things that you are going to learn in this video can be asked both in prelims as well as in mains. The first aspect which we will be talking about is script. In Indus Civilization, the script was pictographic as well as logosyllabic script. Whereas in ancient Egypt, it was hieroglyphic script. And in ancient Mesopotamia, it was cuneiform script. We have already talked about all these details in our previous videos. So this video is basically a comparison between different civilizations. So if you want to look at these scripts, basically you can see Indus script over here. And this is Egyptian hieroglyphic script. And this is nothing but Mesopotamian cuneiform script. The second element which we will be comparing is whether the script has been deciphered or not. Indus Civilization script has not been deciphered, but ancient Egyptian script as well as ancient Mesopotamian script have been deciphered. So this was about script. The question is, where did these people write this script? Indus people mainly wrote on seals. However, we also find some evidences of Indus script on their pottery also. Other than this, in Dholavira, we have found evidences of Harappan script as a stone inscription also. Moreover, in Dholavira, we have also found Harappan inscription which were written on a wooden signboard. So these are also examples of Harappan script. But mostly the Harappan script was written on seals and sometimes it was on pottery. If we talk about ancient Egyptian civilization, these people wrote on papyrus sheets or papyrus scrolls. Papyrus is basically a plant from which paper can be made. So these people made sheets or scrolls from papyrus plant and they wrote the hieroglyphic script on these papyrus scrolls. Moreover, these people also wrote on stone walls. Whereas ancient Mesopotamian people mainly wrote on clay tablets. If we talk about the time period of all these civilizations, then we can say that all these three civilizations as well as ancient Chinese civilization and Minoan civilizations are contemporary civilizations. However, even within these five civilizations, Indus Civilization, ancient Egypt and ancient Mesopotamia can be considered as older civilizations. And compared to these three, ancient China and Minoan civilizations are relatively new. Moreover, all these five were Bronze Age civilizations. Let's look at these five civilizations on a map. We can see Indus Civilization or Harappan civilization over here, whereas Mesopotamian civilization is located here and Egyptian civilization is located in Egypt here. Ancient Chinese civilization mainly developed along the Yellow River, whereas Minoan civilization, which can also be called as Crete civilization, developed in Greece. And unlike the other four civilizations, Minoan civilization mainly developed around Aegean Sea. So this is about the five ancient Bronze Age civilizations. Now let's go back to the comparison. If we talk about the geographical spread, then the Indus civilization was the largest of these three civilizations. Indus civilization occupied almost 8 lakh square kilometers of area. So comparatively, both ancient Egyptian civilization as well as ancient Mesopotamian civilization had lower area. So geographically, Indus civilization was the biggest of all these. If we talk about the river systems where these civilizations developed, then Indus civilization mainly developed along Indus River and its tributaries. Whereas ancient Egyptian civilization developed on Nile River and ancient Mesopotamian civilization developed around Tigris and Euphrates rivers. If we talk about the town planning in these civilizations, then Indus civilization had a grid-like pattern where roads and streets crossed each other at 90 degrees angle. Both ancient Egypt as well as ancient Mesopotamia were urban civilizations. However, the town planning in both these civilizations was not as good as Indus civilization because ancient Egyptian civilization or ancient Egyptian towns mainly developed along River Nile. That is why the important building criteria for them was to build the towns and to build the houses very near to the Nile River. So the grid-like plan of Indus civilization was largely absent here. Similarly, in Mesopotamia also, the town growth was in a haphazard manner, which simply means that disorderly manner. It was disorderly because most of the ancient Mesopotamian cities were actually villages first, and these villages developed into large villages and into towns and then finally into cities. That is why they were not properly planned cities. Some of the other observations are, in Indus civilization, mainly burnt bricks or baked bricks were used. However, in the case of ancient Egypt as well as ancient Mesopotamia, dried bricks were used. Dried bricks were generally inferior to burnt bricks. So burnt brick is usually better quality brick compared to dried bricks. That is why bricks in Indus civilization were much better compared to ancient Egypt as well as ancient Mesopotamia. We must remember that ancient Mesopotamians also used burnt bricks. However, their usage of burnt bricks was very small compared to the Indus civilization people's use. Other important elements in Harappan civilization were their weight system and domestication of elephants. This is very unique for Harappan civilization. Moreover, Indus people also made beads. The beads that were made in Indus cities were so good that Mesopotamia used to import these beads from Indus cities. An interesting aspect in ancient Egypt and ancient Mesopotamia was the building of temples. In Indus civilization, we did not find any temples. However, in ancient Egypt as well as in ancient Mesopotamia, temples were there. Moreover, ancient Egyptians also built pyramids, which were absent in Indus civilization as well as ancient Mesopotamia. In ancient Egypt, the script was mainly written on papyrus scrolls. In ancient Mesopotamia, bronze was first used probably in ancient Mesopotamia. That is why ancient Mesopotamians used more bronze compared to both ancient Egypt as well as Indus civilization. So this is very important as far as ancient Mesopotamian usage of bronze is concerned. Moreover, ancient Mesopotamian people built large-scale canal system also. This is also very unique feature for ancient Mesopotamia. Another unique feature of ancient Mesopotamia is the code of Hammurabi. Hammurabi was basically the ruler of ancient Mesopotamia somewhere around 1750 BCE. So the king Hammurabi gave a code of law for his empire, and that code of law by Hammurabi is called as Code of Hammurabi. So basically the Code of Hammurabi is considered as the most ancient legal text of the world. If we talk about ancient Egypt, an interesting feature here is that the king was also called as priest king, because his function was similar to the highest priest as well as the king. That is why the king in ancient Egypt was called as priest king or king priest. Moreover, the word pharaoh was used for king in ancient Egypt. I believe you have seen the images of pharaoh in movies. This was basically a representation of pharaoh, and pharaoh is nothing but the king in ancient Egypt. Now let's talk about some of the important cities of Indus civilization, ancient Egypt and ancient Mesopotamia. In Indus civilization, we already know Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Dholavira, Rakhighadi, Kalibangan, Ganveriwala, Lothal and other important cities. In ancient Egypt, Memphis and Thebes are basically the most important cities. In ancient Mesopotamia, we have cities like Ur, Uruk, Babylon, Nineveh and Persepolis. So kings were ruling both ancient Egypt and ancient Mesopotamia. However, kings were probably absent in Indus civilization. One other information is that the rule of kings in ancient Mesopotamia can be divided into different empires. For example, Akkadian Empire, Babylonian Empire, Assyrian Empire were different empires that were ruling ancient Mesopotamian region during different time periods. However, in the case of Indus civilization, there were no such empires. Indus civilization was not ruled by kings, but it was probably ruled by a group of traders. That is why we call Indus civilization as a group of commercial republics. Whereas ancient Egypt and ancient Mesopotamia were mainly monarchies. So this is about the comparison of different ancient civilizations. This can be directly asked in the mains exam. For example, the question can be, explain how the ancient Indus civilization was different from ancient Egyptian and ancient Mesopotamian civilizations. If you like this video, please subscribe. You can download this presentation from our Telegram channel. The name of the Telegram channel is IAS Project. You can find the link for this channel in the description section below. Thank you.